Hey, welcome back, citizens of Gaia. I'm Mugbard Timmy. No, I'm Black Mage Timmy. Whoops. Oh well, you'll notice I have a bunch of different names, and occasionally I mix up the two. No, Black Mage Timmy here with the second half of the introductory episode of my Final Fantasy IX walkthrough. So when we kicked off, we had just finished with Zidane. I've actually skipped the middle cutscene, which I didn't mean to do, but clearly, just a side note, if you do want to skip your cutscenes for whatever reason, just hit assuming you're like me, and you are using your PlayStation 3 controller, rather than your PlayStation 1, you can hit the home button and skip any cutscenes. Well, I should specify FMV scenes rather than film cutscenes. Rather than dialogue cutscenes like this one. Anyway, so we've just kicked off with a new character as we left off after the old one. You'll see in the FMV what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is our new character, Vivi or Vivi or Vivi. Like, it's kind of, I think just Vivi is fine. These games tend to leave a lot out to the imagination. Anyway, you want to follow this because there's a lot to clean up, but looks like I'll probably have enough time to do it, but just pay a lot of attention, so I'm going to run through this real quick. Anyway, first up, we don't want to go down, we don't want to go up, we want to go down into this area here, which you don't actually have to be in, but there's a bunch of treasures that we're going to be going after. A lot of them are going to be cards. So first up, behind this little thing in this corner, we've got our first treasure, which is a zombie card. We're going to run over to the polar opposite end and just kind of hug the wall around the back. And as we progress around, it's going to take a minute, and usually it's right behind the statue, but there's actually a lizard man card. If you don't know what cards are, I'll quickly show you. In the menu section, we have these things called cards, which I'll kind of run through in another episode about the finer points of Tetramaster when I've got time. But there's your Lizard Man card, there's your Zombie card. Basically, there's 100 different cards in the game, and most civilians are kind of versatile. You can play them in this card game called Tetramaster. Anyway, over here behind the I don't know what they are, column, in between the columns, there's another treasure, which is our Sahagan card. Most of the cards are either weapons or mostly enemies in the game. And the last treasure in this area, yeah, there's a lot, is behind the statue itself, but like right up close to it, which is a potion. Anyway, time is short and money, so let's keep going. So, now we've hit our next area. We don't actually want to keep going any forward. We want to go right into this little house. It's kind of hard to tell, but this is Grandma's house. I don't know she's Leah's grandma, which is the girl who just helped you. But, so we have a couple of things we can do in here. We can stare at the, I think it's a rug. Sorry, they never really entered what these things are. It was just kind of pre-rendering. But apparently it makes him dizzy. The other things are, again, you can talk to almost anyone. Most people will play cards with you if you press square. But we want to check over at the bed. And down here we get Grandma's savings of 9 gil, which is, it's kind of petty really, but you know. RPGs, take everything you possibly can. We also want to ransack her top drawer up the ladder and grab a Fang card. Oh, exclamation points, as I said, are points of interest in the last episode. But they also cover things like ladders, ropes that you can climb. It's really anything you can interact with. Anyway, we're going to head up. Normally you get hit by a rat kid around here, but I already got hit by him in the introduction. I didn't mean to, but oh well. Anyway, we're going to check these baskets over here for yet another potion. There are a lot. These are really handy to have, because you don't get a lot of healing magic in Disc 1, and you almost never get it when it counts. So that's one of the only real downsides to this, and probably one of the biggest downsides to the fact that Final Fantasy IX has a very strict job system. Anyway, we're going to duck down here, and we can check these 2 tufts of grass. So this one for 33 gil, and this other one for a goblin card, which is actually one of the most common cards in the game. We're going to also enter the tavern, because trying to sneak into bars when you're young is something I probably wouldn't advise, but apparently is worth it. Going to check over here in the corner by the table, and we'll get even more potions. So that's another one there. By the way, this now brings our total up from 10 that you start with to... only 12. That's a bit of a shame. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, we're going to go down here, and we're going to check this other barrel, and we're going to find a flan card. Now, these cards aren't really good, or even overly worth the time, usually, but first-time players of Tetramaster... Oh, here's another 27 gil over by the corner. First-time players of Tetramaster tend to lose cards a lot. I did when I didn't understand how to play properly. As I said, that's another episode that I'll kind of do as a side note. But anyway, we're going to go to the left here. Okay, so the next item of this next part of our agenda is we're going to go... I can't remember. Is there something here, or is it just a sign? Nope, just a sign. This is Doug's item shop. We're going to enter Doug's item shop and not actually buy anything, but we're going to steal off the floor just here 38 gil. And then we're going to leave. Usually you can go and talk to Doug. Oh, Doug is just this one, but that's generally item shops sell you things like potions, antidotes, tents. You get kind of used to it. So now, we need to go to this ticket booth to continue the story, but what we're going to do is we're going to go in here. Now, this is the synthesis shop, which we won't really get to cover until later because they're not available at the moment. But go over here, check out the benches, and pick yourself up an ether, which is kind of like your mana restoring potion kind of thing. Move out to the next room, and... check over here. Sorry, I'm running through this really quickly, but we've already hit the 7-minute mark in 10-minute videos. And, well, frankly, it's quite fast. Over here, we're going to hit this, and we're going to go and get a remedy, which is basically your kind of cure all status ailments, your poisons, your silences. Any previous Final Fantasy player will probably know this. But, as I said, this is for beginners as well, so... I don't want to ruin that. Anyway, we're going to duck over here before... We're going to try and pick up as many items as we can before we worry about going on with the story, but we're going to try and knock this out really quickly because there's like 2 minutes left. So, we're going to go into this house, and in this house, we have this space that we can run up here, and we can check the bed for even more money, although 3 gil really isn't that much. It's kind of scabby, but... And we're going to check the heater, the stove, over here for some eye drops. As I said, I'll probably do a couple of side videos just to give the rundown of how everything works. Anyway, our next agenda is this church. The rest of this is going to happen really quickly as well. So, we've got this side, which is our tent, and we've got this other side, a bit further over, which is going to give us our potion. Okay, now that's it. Now, I've got about a minute left, so I'm going to try and run through this as quickly as possible. But if I have to stop, I will. That's about all the items you're going to need. But I'm going to quickly show you like what to do in the stand, and I'm actually going to finish up there for this episode. And then tell you where to go, just so then you don't get too lost, because I clearly haven't accounted for my 10-minute limit. So we're going to show the ticket to this guy, and he's going to tell us that it's a fake, and he's going to feel sorry for you, because clearly an 8-year-old needs to be duped. And he's going to give us 3 cards, so a Goblin card, a Fang card, and a Skeleton card. And he's going to tell us to talk to Alleyway Jack. Now, talking to Alleyway Jack's quite difficult, so I wouldn't advise it. Now we're going to go back to the left here. Sorry if I'm speaking really fast, but we're almost in this video, so my advice is, after you've fallen over, Get back up, try again, and I'm going to have to stop here and catch you later.